Hey there, I'm Frank Mitchell. On this channel, it's all about helping you understand your car and keeping it running the way it should. Whether it's routine maintenance or solving those tricky problems, I've got you covered. If you find this useful, give the video a like, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to watch till the end. You might learn something that saves you time and money. All right, let's get started.
The MG4 Electric and the CUPRA Born are two 100% electric cars that compete directly in terms of size, performance, and range. The Volkswagen ID.3 is the third equivalent model. Comparison between the MG4 Electric and the ID.3. With the MG4, the reborn brand of British origin, now under the control of the Chinese giant SAIC, offers a very competitive product. That makes price one of its major attractions. With versions of 170 and 204 horsepower and a homologated range of between 350 and 450 kilometers, the MG4 has arrived on the European market. Ready to take a good slice of the electric car sales pie, making things very difficult for rivals such as the Volkswagen ID.3 or the Renault Megane E-Tech. CUPRA Born MG4 Electric. The CUPRA Born would be another of the MG4 Electric's rivals. Initially born as Seat L Born, the Volkswagen Group finally decided that it will become part of the product portfolio of the newly born Spanish brand. Built on the MEB platform, the Born is basically an ID.3, a model with which it shares dimensions, propulsion system, technology, and a multitude of elements. Even so, the Spanish firm has managed to give it its touch with, among other things, a sportier design and a higher level of perceived quality in the interior. The Born is available in 204 and 231 horsepower versions and offers a range of between 425 and 549 kilometers. In this electric car comparison, we will analyze the differences between the MG4 Electric versus CUPRA Born. Exterior dimensions, trunk capacity, fuel consumption, price, and other variables will help us answer the following question: MG4 or CUPRA Born, which one to buy? Exterior dimensions. The MG4 is wider and lower than the CUPRA Born, although the differences of only 3 and 4 centimeters are not significant. In terms of length, it is the Born who is ahead of the MG4 by 3 centimeters. The wheelbase is 6 centimeters longer in the Born and, however, this does not mean, as we will see in the corresponding section, an advantage in terms of available space in the passenger compartment. The total weight of the vehicles is similar in the entry-level versions, but in the top-of-the-line versions with the higher capacity batteries, the CUPRA Born is a heavier model, with a difference of almost 200 kilograms. As for the turning radius, important data in two urban cars like these, the CUPRA Born comes out better, since it needs 45 centimeters less to make a turn between curbs. Measurements: MG4 Electric Born length 4.29 meters, 4.32 meters, height 1.50 meters, 1.54 meters, width 1.84 meters, 1 and DOT. Angle 81 meters, distance between axles 2.71 meters, 2.77 meters, weight 1,730 kilograms, 1,760 kilograms, 1,736 kilograms, 1946 kilograms, minimum trunk 350, 363 liters, 385 liters, maximum trunk 1177 liters. CUPRA Born MG4 Electric. Interior dimensions and habitability. As with the exterior, the differences between the interior of the MG Electric and the CUPRA Born are minimal. The front seats are virtually identical, finding more differences in the second row of seats. Even so, there is little variation, 2 centimeters more for the legs and 4 centimeters more for the shoulders in the MG4. Headroom is similar in both models and allows passengers up to 1.80 meters tall to travel comfortably. The CUPRA Born does not have a transmission tunnel, which allows the center passenger to travel more comfortably. In the MG4, there is a central tunnel, but its size and, therefore, its intrusion is minimal. None of the models have air conditioning outlets in the rear seats, but they do have USB sockets for charging the cell phone. Interior CUPRA Born. Interior MG4 Electric trunk. The comparison of the MG4 and CUPRA Born trunks follows the same trend with minimal differences in the data. The trunk of the MG4 covers, depending on the battery, between 350 and 365 liters, while the CUPRA Born offers 385 liters. In terms of dimensions, the trunk of the CUPRA Born is deeper and higher. Although the data are similar, the CUPRA Born takes some advantage of the MG4 in this section by the modularity offered, with a specific hole under the floor to store the charging cables and puncture kit, and a tray that can be placed in two heights to have a double bottom or flush with the floor of the trunk with the loading sill. In addition, the CUPRA Born offers electric tailgate operation. CUPRA Born Trunk MG4 Electric Trunk Engine and Performance. The MG4 is available in two versions, a 170 horsepower version with a 51 kilowatt-hour battery capacity and a 204 horsepower version with a 64 kilowatt-hour battery capacity. In both cases, the traction is to the rear wheels and the maximum torque of 250 Newton meters. The 170 horsepower version completes 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 7.7 seconds, a time that rises to 7.9 seconds in the 204 horsepower variant. In the future, MG will expand the range with the arrival of new, more powerful versions, with a larger battery and all-wheel drive. The CUPRA Born is only available with a 204 horsepower and 310 Newton meters of torque mechanics that allows acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 7.3 seconds. The battery has a capacity of 58 kilowatt-hours. CUPRA offers an optional package called eBoost that allows to increase the power to 231 horsepower and lower the 0 to 100 kilometers/h to 6 seconds. The eBoost pack, as the brand calls it, can be added to the battery pack, which increases the battery capacity to 77 kilowatt-hours. In this case, we lose some acceleration due to the additional weight of the battery but gain range. Volkswagen ID. 3 engine range Born 150 kilowatts, 204 horsepower, 58 kilowatt-hours, 0 label Born 170 kilowatts, 231 horsepower, 58 kilowatt-hours eBoost pack, 0 label Born 170 kilowatts, 231 horsepower, 77 kilowatt-hours eBoost pack and amp, battery pack, 0 label CUPRA Born MG4 Electric consumption. The entry-level version of the MG4 with 51 kilowatt-hour battery capacity has an average fuel consumption of 17 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometers and can cover 350 kilometers. The 204 horsepower version with a 77 kilowatt-hour battery has a combined consumption of 16.6 kilowatt-hours and increases the range to 450 kilometers. In both cases, the maximum charging power is 6.6 kilowatts in alternating current and 117 kilowatts in direct current. The entry-level CUPRA Born has a combined fuel consumption of 15.4 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometers, a figure that rises to 15.6 with the eBoost pack and 15.8 with the eBoost pack and amp battery pack. The range is 425, 420 and 549 kilometers respectively. Maximum charging power is 11 kilowatts in alternating current and 120 kilowatts in direct current. The top-of-the-line CUPRA Born can charge at 135 kilowatts. Equipment. The MG4 is available in 3 trim levels: Standard, Comfort, and Luxury. The standard equipment of the MG4, from the most basic level, is quite complete, including, among other things, full LED headlights, keyless entry and start, adaptive cruise control, and a multimedia system with 10-inch screen and compatible with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Of course, some alloy wheels are missing, as the standard 16-inch steel ones are fitted as standard. Interior CUPRA Born Interior MG4 Electric. The CUPRA Born is only available with a finish to which you can add different packs. In its Access version, the equipment list is similar, although with differences. For example, adaptive cruise control is part of the list of extras, but it does include 18-inch alloy wheels as standard. The multimedia system has a larger 12.3-inch screen and wireless connection with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Also noteworthy are the full LED headlights. the induction charger for the cell phone, and the ambient lighting system. The big difference in terms of equipment between the CUPRA Born and the MG4 is that the Spanish model offers, as an option, some systems that are not available in the MG4, such as advanced matrix headlights or the head-up display with augmented reality. Conclusion: MG4 Electric or CUPRA Born, which one should I buy? As we have seen throughout the comparison of the MG4 and the CUPRA Born, there are no major differences between these two models. So the final decision would have to be made based on design and price. CUPRA Born MG4 Electric. Leaving aside the design, which is a subjective matter, the price tips the balance in favor of the MG4 and does so, moreover, in a resounding way. If we take the Access versions as a reference, the MG4 is a much more affordable model. It is true that the CUPRA Born is a model better finished inside, with more equipment possibilities, more efficient and with better performance and more autonomy. It also offers a sportier driving feel and a certain brand status. This, however, does not justify such a large price difference, so our choice would be the MG4. In conclusion, both the CUPRA Born and the MG4 Electric offer compelling features for those looking to transition to electric vehicles. The CUPRA Born impresses with its sporty design and performance, appealing to enthusiasts who value driving dynamics. On the other hand, the MG4 Electric stands out with its practicality and affordability, making it an excellent choice for budget-conscious buyers. Ultimately, your decision will depend on your personal preferences and priorities, whether that be performance, style, or value for money. Whichever you choose, both models represent a significant step forward in the world of electric mobility. Thank you for watching, and we hope this comparison has helped you in your search for the perfect electric vehicle.